You may be wondering, what's going on with social media? Why are so many people choosing to step away from it in 2025? The answer is simple yet profound. There's something much bigger happening behind the scenes, something that has been hidden for generations. 2025 will be the year when the curtain rises and the truth begins to be revealed. What most people don't realize is that social media platforms are not just tools for interaction and communication. They are part of a much larger, spiritual plan that goes beyond simple entertainment and virtual connections. What's happening through these platforms is not just a manipulation of information, but also a manipulation of human energy, your energy. Every time you log into social media, you're exposed to an energetic field that alters your vibrational frequency. But what does that really mean? We're talking about something much deeper: how digital energy impacts our auric and emotional fields. Each like, comment, and interaction is not just a simple exchange of words or images, it's an energetic transaction. These platforms aren't neutral. They have an energetic purpose. The chosen ones, those who have already awakened to the true nature of reality, are starting to sense this. They feel the waves of manipulation, the artificial vibrations that social media imposes on all of us. Modern digital communication, far from being a tool for genuine connection, distorts our perception and weakens our intuition. A digital consciousness awakening is underway. Those who are in tune with this energy are beginning to realize that real connection can no longer happen within these artificial environments. True communication, authentic connection, must happen on a spiritual level, not through material and technological means. This is exactly what we're calling the Great Disconnect. Moreover, the concept of the metaverse, which has been heavily promoted in recent years, is designed to keep people even more immersed in a parallel reality. A reality where the human mind is controlled by algorithms, where the very souls of individuals are subtly yet powerfully manipulated. It's no longer just about being physically glued to a screen. It's now a digital prison for the mind. Do you see it? The spiritual manipulation within social media is not something we can ignore. 2025 will be the year when this manipulation will be exposed in ways that no one will be able to deny. The veil will lift, and the true nature of these platforms will be revealed. If you're still with us, it's because you're beginning to see that the impact of social media goes far beyond what meets the eye. But to fully understand why so many chosen ones will step away from the digital world in 2025, you need to grasp the 7 hidden reasons behind this disconnection. These reasons are deeply spiritual and go beyond simple concerns about mental health or digital fatigue. They have everything to do with the energetic vibrations being manipulated by these platforms and the spiritual impact that this manipulation is having on our lives and our awakening process. These 7 reasons are profound and spiritual, touching on more than just the psychological and emotional effects of social media. They're about the way our energy is manipulated and how it affects our spiritual growth. 1. Digital energy vampire phenomenon. Have you ever wondered why you feel completely drained after spending hours on social media? The digital energy vampire phenomenon is very real. Social media platforms, in many ways, act like magnetic fields that suck away our vital energy. Behind every post, image, or interaction is an exchange of frequencies, and most of them are designed to drain, not uplift. The algorithms are designed to trap your attention, to engage your brain in such a way that you lose track of time. This creates a disconnect between you and your spiritual essence, weakening your vital energy. For the chosen ones, this feeling of exhaustion after using social media isn't a coincidence. It's a clear indication that something is wrong on an energetic level. 2. Awakening of natural telepathy. One of the abilities that is starting to awaken in the most sensitive souls is natural telepathy. This is a form of communication beyond words, a level of intuitive and energetic connection that has always existed between human beings. However, social media, with its constant bombardment of stimuli and information, directly interferes with this awakening. Instead of listening to our inner voice and connecting telepathically with others, we are constantly bombarded by external content that distorts our intuition and our ability to communicate on a deeper level. As many begin to disconnect from social media, they start to notice their intuition strengthening, and the process of natural telepathic communication becomes clearer. 3. Preparation for cosmic events. 2025 will be a year of planetary and cosmic alignments that have been anticipated by spiritual and astrological scholars. These alignments have the potential to bring about a true shift in collective consciousness. But for this transition to take place effectively, the most elevated souls need to be prepared. Being in tune with cosmic events means being clear of external influences that could block your energy. And this is one of the most powerful reasons for the digital disconnect. Social media platforms are dense, energetic fields that prevent the spiritual clarity necessary to connect with these cosmic events. 4. Manipulation of collective consciousness. The collective consciousness is the sum of all the energies and thoughts of humanity. What many don't realize is that social media is being used to manipulate this consciousness on a massive scale. This happens through subliminal programming and mind control techniques that affect how we think, feel, and behave. The messages we receive constantly, through memes, posts, ads, are often disguised as harmless, but their true goal is to subtly shape our beliefs and actions. For the chosen ones, distancing themselves from this type of influence is a matter of spiritual freedom. 5. Liberation from mental control. Closely related to the manipulation of collective consciousness is the issue of mind control. Social media has been used as a tool to condition our minds, creating thought patterns that limit our ability to awaken to our true nature. Many who are already awake to their true essence begin to realize that social media platforms function like invisible mental prisons, keeping us from accessing our deepest wisdom. Breaking free from this mental control requires a process of disconnecting from the platforms that feed this mental prison. 6. Returning to sacred communication. At a deeper level, social media has been pulling people away from true sacred communication. This communication is not just verbal, but also energetic and spiritual. It's the type of connection that occurs between souls who recognize themselves as part of a greater whole. This form of communication is lost when we allow ourselves to become consumed by superficial, fast-paced interactions. The chosen ones are seeking a return to this sacred communication, which can't be found on our phone screens, but rather in the heart and soul. Reconnecting with nature, with the energy of the elements, and with the self is essential for those who wish to evolve spiritually. 7. Activation of the third eye. Last but certainly not least, we have the activation of the third eye. The third eye, also known as the pineal gland, is responsible for our spiritual and intuitive perception. By constantly exposing ourselves to the low-frequency waves of social media, we're weakening this spiritual connection. Stepping away from social media allows the energy of the third eye to activate more intensely, freeing us from external influences and allowing us to access a higher level of consciousness. This is one of the most powerful reasons behind the Great Disconnect. Activating the third eye is a crucial step in reaching a deeper spiritual understanding. Have you noticed any changes in your energy or perception after spending long hours on social media? If so, know that these are not mere coincidences, but clear signs that your body and soul are asking you to disconnect from this digital reality. The truth is, as more and more people begin to awaken to what's happening around them, the need to step away from social media becomes not just a desire, but an urgent necessity for many chosen ones. Let's explore some of these symptoms, which are clear signs that disconnecting is not only recommended, but essential for your spiritual and physical well-being. Exhaustion. After social media use. It's nearly impossible not to notice the fatigue that comes after hours of scrolling through social media. What starts as a simple check of your feed or a quick peek at updates turns into a mentally and energetically draining process. It's not uncommon to feel deeply exhausted after a whole day of being plugged in. This happens because social media is loaded with artificial energy and constant stimuli. Every notification, every image or video alters your vibrational frequency, leaving you mentally overloaded. For the chosen ones, this exhaustion goes beyond physical fatigue, it's spiritual. Your energy field is being invaded by external waves, creating an imbalance that affects your emotional and mental health. Intuition, warning you of dangers. One of the most distinctive features of the chosen ones is their highly developed intuition. And if you feel that something's wrong, that's your soul telling you to pay attention. Many people report a sense of unease or inner alarm when they've been immersed in social media for too long. It's as if an inner voice keeps saying, "This isn't for you, you need to get out of here." These intuitive warnings are more common than you might think, and ignoring them can leave you feeling increasingly disconnected from your true essence. The call to disconnect digitally is, in reality, a call to reconnect with your deeper self and the universal energies around you. Increased sensitivity to electronics. Another symptom of those on the path of spiritual awakening is an increased sensitivity to electronic devices. If you feel uncomfortable being around screens for long periods or even experience physical effects like headaches or nausea, it's not something trivial. These effects may be signs that your energy field is being overloaded by the intense radiation emitted by digital devices and the dense energy of social media. The more sensitive souls begin to notice how these devices influence their vibration, and often, simply being in contact with this technology creates a feeling of energetic contamination. If you've experienced this, it might be time to seriously consider reducing your digital exposure. Inner call to disconnect. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, there's the inner call. If you're listening to your intuition and feel aligned with something greater, it's possible that this call has already begun. Something within you is telling you it's time to stop, to seek something deeper and more meaningful than what social media can offer. This is the time to listen to that inner voice. When you begin to feel that something isn't right with your social media usage and you start to notice the weight of these platforms, it's time to follow that call. Many chosen ones are already doing this, and 2025 will be a key moment in this collective awakening. Therefore, digital disconnection is not just a choice, but a necessity for those who are ready to walk the path of true spiritual evolution. Now that we've explored the impact of social media on our energy and how the chosen ones are being called to step away from this digital reality, it's time to look ahead. The transition happening is not just about disconnecting from the digital world, but also about reconnecting with a new form of communication, one that goes beyond words, screens, and superficial interactions. If you've ever felt a growing need for deeper connections, for interactions that are more authentic and that nourish your soul, then you're already aligned with what's to come. The new paradigm of communication will no longer be centered around likes or followers, but around real energetic connections. This new model of interaction is based on what we could call natural telepathic networks. As the more awakened souls begin to distance themselves from social media, they are starting to realize that communication between humans can actually occur at a much deeper level. It's as if there is an invisible thread of connection, something that transcends words and technological devices. Have you ever had that moment where, without saying a word, someone knew exactly how you were feeling? This is the type of communication we are about to reactivate. Synchronicities will become more common as those disconnecting digitally begin to align energetically. Interactions will no longer be random, but orchestrated by the universe. In addition, the communities that will arise from this disconnection won't be based on digital profiles or hashtags, but on real spiritual communities, where each individual will be recognized for their being and not for their online avatar. The energy of collectivity will strengthen, creating a new network of support, evolution, and exchange. Now that you understand the spiritual and energetic reasons behind the social media disconnect, it's time to focus on how to practically prepare for this great transition. How can you start stepping away from social media in a healthy way without losing the essential connections you've already built? The transition doesn't need to be abrupt or painful, but it's important that you approach it consciously and gradually. Here are some powerful practices to help with this digital detox and reconnection with your inner self. Gradual digital detox. First, remember, it's not necessary to cut everything off cold turkey. Start with a gradual digital detox. This means limiting your screen time progressively by setting specific hours for browsing social media. For example, you could establish a social media-free period every day, maybe an hour or two before bed or first thing in the morning. These small changes can help reduce the energetic impact of the platforms and allow you to begin reclaiming your natural vibration. Energetic protection practices. As you begin to distance yourself from social media, it will also be essential to protect your energy. A simple but powerful technique is visualizing a protective light bubble around you. Imagine a golden or white sphere surrounding you, emanating an energy of protection that repels any negative influence, especially those caused by the dense energies present in the digital world. Additionally, you can incorporate practices such as salt baths, daily meditation, or even the use of protective stones and crystals like black tourmaline or selenite to reinforce your energy and spiritual protection. Reconnecting with natural abilities. Stepping away from social media is also an opportunity to reconnect with your natural abilities. The more you detach from the digital world, the more you'll realize that you possess talents, intuitions, and spiritual gifts that have been dormant. Take time to connect with your intuition, engage in activities like meditation, spiritual reading, or even learn something new. Anything that reactivates the flow of creative energy that exists within you. These moments of introspection will not only strengthen your connection with your inner self, but also with the spiritual community that forms when you distance yourself from digital distractions. It's a community based on synchronicity, deep energetic meetings, where what matters is not the images, but the authenticity of the connection. Maintaining important connections. Although reducing your time on social media is essential, it doesn't mean you need to isolate yourself. Focus on maintaining meaningful connections. If you have close people in your life who are aligned with your awakening, connect with them on deeper levels without the interference of the digital world. Video calls, in-person meetings, or even phone conversations can be much more authentic and energetically healthy ways to maintain essential relationships during this transition process. 2025 will mark the beginning of a monumental shift. The spiritual transition we are going through is not just about stepping away from social media, but about returning to a deeper and more authentic form of communication, where souls connect on levels that go beyond words. The future of communication between the chosen ones will no longer be based on likes and followers, but on real energetic connections. If you feel ready for this transition, the time to act is now. Start disconnecting little by little, protect your energy, and open yourself to the new paradigm. The digital disconnect is not a loss, but a spiritual gain. So, what will you do from now on? Prepare yourself to be part of this silent revolution, where true spiritual freedom and genuine connection become possible. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay informed about this collective awakening. The future has already begun. And you, are you ready for this change? Thank you for joining me on this journey through the spiritual revolution of 2025. The digital world may seem overwhelming, but it is not our final destination. The true path lies in reconnecting with the essence of who we truly are. Stay present, stay aligned, and remember, the best is yet to come.